Hi everyone, I'm Jen Labasso. This is part 2 of the Connected Kids segment. The first part dealt with the perspective of children and their online usage, but now I switched gears and I went about interviewing parents and how they handle the online usage of their own children. What do they do to manage it? What do they do to monitor it? And as they get older, how do they deal with social media and their child's online usage with all the different devices that they have? I also asked parents about what they thought the positive aspects were of online usage with their children, and the consensus was that the knowledge and the information that is right at their fingertips is probably the biggest benefit of online and internet usage. So please check out the upcoming interviews from parents all across the board with kids ranging from 5 to 20, and check out what they have to say on this issue.
All right, Alicia Schaefer, and Owen is 5 and Colin is 2.
So Alicia, what kind of devices do your kids have, if any? And if they use yours at all, where do you allow them to use it?
So they don't have anything other than my phone. And if we're at a doctor's appointment or if we're out anywhere that isn't kid friendly, they can use it. They go on YouTube. They also go on to different games that they have that they downloaded. A music game, ball games. That's about it.
Alicia, how do you think you'll handle in the future when your kids eventually get a device on the dangers associated with it? And you as a mom, how do you think you can control it? And also, even if you have rules in your own home, what are your plans for talking to your kids about something that might be shown to them by a friend?
I think the best thing is just open communication with my kids and tell them what is right and wrong, and kind of leave it in their hands too. When he's out with friends, just kind of tell him, what is right, what is wrong, and, to report it to a parent, whoever he's with.
Alicia, what are your thoughts on devices and phones being used in the elementary school setting? We know they're in middle school and high school, but what are your thoughts on phone usage in elementary school since your kids are going to be entering that building soon?
So I am actually against having a phone for my child. I feel like he's in elementary school that there's no reason that he needs one. I don't feel that school events should cause him to have a phone yet. He's too young to be left by himself. So there's no need for him to have one to call me. I should be there with everything, or my husband will be there with him for everything. I really feel like it's just not appropriate. What was the other part of that question? Sorry.
I think that's it. That's good.
Lisa Neff. I have Chet Salt, who is 15, and Brock Salt, who is 12.
Lisa, how do you feel about preteens and teens, social media use, and also gaming? And do you think it's addictive? And what are some of the dangers that you faced?
Yes, I absolutely do feel that it is addictive. I have a 15-year-old son that gaming has taken over his life. He used to be a high honors student, great at school, motivated, wanted to become an anesthesiologist, and now he wants to be a gamer and working for Twitch. He doesn't come out of his room. I can't get him to do anything with us as a family, not even eat dinner, because he has to be on his gaming device all the time. And the 12-year-old did get caught up in social media, a specific app called Snapchat, which is banned in my household now. He did get in a lot of trouble, illegal trouble, and are facing the consequences with that. But
So what do you think some parents can do, or do you have any ideas about what parents can do? Because I think we're all in the same situation where this is how kids communicate, this is the digital world that they're in. What can we do to try to, prevent some of these things from happening?
There are apps and stuff that you can get on your phone to watch your children, track them, whatever. I personally did that, and still, they're kids. They find ways around it. They're smarter than us sometimes.
Exactly. They are.
And as far as communicating and whatnot, there are other ways to communicate. And honestly, my 12-year-old, he hasn't had a phone since March, and he's doing perfectly fine out in the real world, working with his stepfather, doing the right things. And sometimes it makes it difficult to be in touch with him to make sure he's okay, but there are other ways to communicate.
Hi, I am Brian Snyder, and I have twins that are 2 years old.
What do you think are some of the negative aspects of kids today and their online and internet usage?
I think that exposure to inappropriate material is probably one of the biggest things.
What do you think is a benefit of online and internet activity for kids?
I think that it gives them as much information as they need right at their fingertips.
Hi, I'm Tara Trainer. I have 2 sons. Landon is 8 and Owen is 5.
Do your kids own devices? If so, how much screen time do you allow? Do you limit your screen time? And do you see their device as being a problem or an issue for your family?
The boys have iPads. We only let them on it once in a while, and they have to be in our presence every time they're on it. I don't let them leave the room, or they're not allowed to go on something unless I know or see it first. And I really don't let them on long at all. And if they are on too long, I actually will take it and hide it from them every so often. So they mostly are outside and they're playing.
Tara, when it reaches a point where you have to take the device away from your kids, is it a struggle, and how do you handle it as a mom?
Each one of my kids has a meltdown when I take it away from them. It's just a matter of using strategy of, take it away now or lose it for 2 days. I give them options, and normally they choose my option because I am the parent, and they will get it back, either that night or the next day.
So Tara, what do you think about anything the government or maybe schools should do to protect our children more? Because although as a parent you can establish rules and protect your children and what they view in your house, you can't protect them outside of your house. So do you feel it's a responsibility of parents or the government and schools to restrict or limit the internet for kids?
I am one that thinks that we as parents should have more control over our children. It's nice that other people take responsibility of their actions as much as they can, but I think it's our job as parents to make sure that our kids are able to speak with us and tell us, like, Johnny on the bus had something appropriate up. If you can talk with your child and have that conversation with them and openness with your children, and hopefully tell them right from wrong, then you're not putting the excuse on the government or the schools and making it somebody else's responsibility. We have kids because they're our responsibilities, and I think it should be imposed in all the parents that we educate our kids at home first and then move them on to the rest of the schools and the world.
Hello, my name is Brian Mitchell. I am the father of 2 boys, Jackson age 11, Bennett age 8. And to answer your question, Jen, about parenting in the world of technology, I think it's kind of a blessing. Reason I think that way is when I was a kid, when I wanted to know what a giant squid looked like or what the Roman Colosseum looked like, the best I could do is either if I had a book home from school, or pretty much I had to go to my World Book encyclopedias that were on my family bookshelf, and you pull it off and you flip through and you look at the diagram that was drawn 15 years ago and you read the information on it, and that was kind of it. And you were left with a bunch of questions that really you didn't get any answers to unless you went to the local library and got some book that's 40 years out of date. But you look at what our kids can do today, and if they have a question about anything, they want to see what a great squid looks like, or a giant squid, I should say. They can go on and limitless YouTube videos, Discovery Channel, and Animal Planet, and it's really phenomenal. They want to know what the Roman Colosseum looked like and where the traps were and stuff like that. You can go on Google Maps. You could go here, there, and everywhere. So really, any question our kids have about the world around them, they can have answered almost instantaneously, and it's really incredible. Last night we're watching documentaries, asking Alexa, how tall was Andre the Giant? How big is Hulk Hogan? And it's silly, but it's instantaneous, and you can know anything and be able to speak to it. It's really pretty incredible. I would say the cons of it is kind of comes along with the instantaneousness of it. I think kids nowadays, we need that constant fixed, that it's done, it's complete. They don't want to dig deeper and deeper and deeper, and I see that as a coach and as a teacher. They want answers, they want results quick. It's funny, but relating to technology, I got my kids the little Nintendo system, the one that has 50 games on it for $50 or whatever, and they can play it. Oh, you're gonna love this, Nintendo, it's Super Mario Brothers, it's this, it's that, the other thing. But if you remember those games we played when you were a kid, when you took Super Mario and Mario got hit once, you died. And so you had to sit and play it over and over and over again to memorize all the little patterns and all the little things, because you had nothing else to do. You didn't have multiple lives and energy bars and things like that. You didn't respawn immediately. You were just had to work at it and stick with it in order to get through it. And nowadays kids don't want to do that. They want it to be really good at it really quick, and they want to have information at their hands really quick. So there is kind of a con in that regards, that the things that they want them right now. They want to be good at things, they want to know things right away. So pro technology allows them access to that information so quick and so spontaneously. Con, that kind of makes a kid who's not necessarily ready to work for it like we used to. So hope that answers your question. Talk to you soon.
Hi, I'm Kalina, and I have a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 9-year-old, and an 11-year-old.
Kalina, what kind of devices do your kids have? And when they don't have theirs, do they use yours?
My little ones have iPads. My 9-year-old has an iPod, and my older son has an iPhone. They have theirs. They don't have them a lot, but they typically use theirs. Once in a while, they'll use ours if we're at a sporting event or something like that we don't bring their devices with.
Kalina, do you limit your child's screen time, and how do you monitor it?
We do limit it. We have, for our younger kids, they have on and off days. Actually, for all the 4 kids, they have on and off days. So they're not allowed to have their electronics every day. We usually do every other day. In the winter, we're a little more lenient, but in the summer, we're a little more strict where they don't even have it maybe every other day. We also do, for my oldest son who has a phone, I have an app on my phone that can control his phone. So I can monitor the amount of time he's on there, what apps he's allowed to search, the amount of what he's allowed to even search on YouTube and those sort of apps.
Kalina, what are your concerns about the dangers associated with online activity, and what have you said to your children or talked to your children about to warn them of those dangers?
I think my concerns are mainly with either what's popping up when my kids are on their devices. We try to put filters on their devices so things aren't coming through that are not appropriate for their age. But there's always things that can slip through. We know that. But we just educate them and let them know if there's something that does pop up, to let us know, turn it off, let us know right away. I think it's important that you educate your kids and talk to your kids and be open with your kids about things that may come up so they know, so they're not taken back when something does come up and not afraid to talk to you about it. Another one of my concerns is when they're with friends or they're not at home. Something may come up on their tablets or their friends' tablets or devices that maybe they're allowed to watch and my kids aren't allowed to watch. So, we also educate them that it's not just in our home, it's in other people's homes as well. Our rules at home are the same when they're home or away.
Hi, I'm Carol Snyder. I have 4.
As a grandmother, what do you think are some of the negative aspects of children today and their internet and online usage?
I feel that a lot of the children are spending too much time online. And I know we're all busy and I know our lives are crazy, but I do feel that sometimes parents might use a device as a quick fix to entertain their children. And before they know it, these children are spending hours a day on their devices. As far as teenagers are concerned, I really don't have teenage grandchildren, but my concern is on social media, they may post something that they think is cute and funny, but that stays there forever. And in the future, it could absolutely affect maybe an application into college or a job opportunity. But I believe my biggest fear is distracted driving. This is a really big concern for me. I can't drive 5 miles without seeing somebody on their phone. Texting is very dangerous. So overall, the biggest negative for me is distracted driving.
What do you think are some of the benefits of online usage and internet usage for kids today?
I think if their devices are used as an educational tool, that's a good thing. I know the 2-year-old twins can now say their ABCs, count to 10. They know their shapes, their colors. They can sing 20 different songs. The 6-year-old can read and do math problems because his mother downloaded an application to help him in that area. And the 9-year-old, he's very inquisitive and he loves facts. I can hear him asking Google or Siri, how tall is the Statue of Liberty? Or show me a picture of the Grand Canyon. So overall, I think if the devices are used as an educational tool, if the parents use parental control, if they monitor the kids' screen time, and if they review their history, I think that's really important too. Overall, I think the internet is a good thing.
Hi, my name is Lou Labasso. I have 4 children. Zach, some negative aspects of online usage today with children, I think, are the amount of time they spend on their devices. It seems that a lot of kids can't go anywhere unless they have their iPads or their cell phones with them. I think that there should be a good mix of what they do and times that they can use them and times that they can't use them. Some other negative things that I see, my children are different ages. My 2 older ones, social media plays a part in, I think, with older kids, where there could be a lot of peer pressure, a lot of different sites there anymore, Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram, where my 2 younger kids, it's more about how much time they spend on it and watching what they can see and what they can't see. The dangers of different websites that they can't go on and different websites they can go on. Trying to monitor it, I think, is a tough thing to do. One of the positive things about online usage is your access to the information highway. There's a lot of things you can do at the touch of a finger, get information, easier to do research papers for kids in school. There's a lot of information that kids can access that are really beneficial. There's a lot of apps that can teach children math and reading. You have a midterm paper due, and instead of going to the library, you have it right in front of you and you can access that. So there is a lot of positive things that kids can get out of the internet.
In conclusion, I want to first thank all the parents and grandparents and guardians that participated in part 2 of Connected Kids. It takes a lot of courage to get in front of the camera and talk about your personal life and to share your stories. Some takeaways? Well, we know that there's definitely negative effects to online usage with kids, whether it's screen time or what they're exposed to or kind of how to monitor as a parent, but there's also positives. The wealth of knowledge that kids have access to right at the touch of their fingertips is unlike anything we have ever seen before. I know when I was a kid, I had to look things up in a book, and there would be no way for me to find the kind of information that's available to today's youth. Ultimately, I think we all can agree that it's parents' responsibility to communicate with their kids really early on, talk to them about the do's and don'ts of online usage, and if all else fails, then use some of the apps that I mentioned in my article so that you can monitor and track your kids' online usage. Thank you.